I am joined by the one, the only Mr. Main Event, the buzzer beater, Solomon King Simon. Sol, thank you very much for your time. I'm sure you're absolutely flat out at the minute. You're just telling me you got home at 3 o'clock this morning after a trip to Liverpool.
Yeah, man, it was a long few days, but it was good fun. Like it's nice having different buddies to work with and gain some really good knowledge over there as well. Like as in was working with Dean Garnett and like a few of the other boys there. Like they have some good buddies and like same thing, like just knowledge. That's all like everything you can learn, like it's definitely helps you level up wherever it is. So yeah, nah, wrecked back in work, but like it is what it is.
Would it be typical for you to go over this late on in the camp and get some bodies elsewhere? Because obviously the fight's next weekend. I'm sure have you stopped sparring and things like that, or were you literally just going over and drilling some techniques and that?
Yeah, no, I was open to actually go last week, but just mix up and just couldn't work out last week. So I was like, I just wanted to get over anyway, just to get a different look and stuff like that. But like, it wasn't even crazy. We weren't doing any hard kind of stuff. We did do all sparring there, but it was sparring on the first day, but a lot of it was drilling, like as in just working techniques. Sort of like situational kind of stuff, like if you know what I mean. So it was good. But again, I think the biggest thing I get from it is just even from talking with Dane and stuff, like he's obviously very experienced, like so there's been a lot of like things he would have known and seen over his career and stuff like that. Just things for me to implement into myself going forward and things and like just be aware of like but it was good overall. But yeah, it wasn't like a hard, crazy week. Like I'm tapering down fairly much now, so it's just all about the weight cut. I'm not trying to learn anything new.
Yeah, Aspire, they are flying, and of course, Dean running the show as well. As you say, he's a man that brings a hell of a lot of experience. His last fight was a bit of a joke, to be fair. Did you see the stoppage for his last fight in the PFL final?
No, I didn't say it. No.
Oh, you'll have to watch it. It was you could go down a rabbit hole with it, but it was a terrible, terrible stoppage. What does the
Oh.
next week look like for you then? Obviously, weight cutting, still training, and things like this. What does next week look like for you? Fight week.
Yeah, like just the standard water loading, cut the carbs out, etc., and then like I'm just gonna be tipping away. But we're doing some drilling, like just to get some sweat up, and might do pads, but like nothing too crazy. Like just doing that just to burn weight. Like really, I'm chilling for the next while. So it's like it's actually it's good. It's not good in regards to like food and all of that kind of side of things. But like overall, it's like it's not like a hard week. Like it's just chill, and then Saturday make weight Friday morning, and then that's when I light up after I weigh in. Once I weigh in, I'm like, oh, it's time to actually work. Like it feels good. Then like all the hard work is done, and it's just step out there and enjoy yourself. Like so, yeah. Next week won't be too bad.
What's your post weigh in food? What meal do you go to after a weigh in?
Like I'm still I think every time I've done it so far, it's just been Domino's. Like just grab like it's makes sense when I freaking like starve myself with carbs all week. But usual pizza and stuff will be the standard kind of thing. And then after that, then we start getting Indians and freaking I'm heading over to Emiliano's there for the following week, get some nice pasta. It is Italian and Waterford. Freaking unreal. So
Is
definitely
this is this the restaurant that sponsors you? Is it?
yeah,
Oh
yes,
yeah,
yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
It looks unreal.
Like it's class. So I'll be that's I'll pop into that then after the fight. But I say the day of the fight, most likely get some pizza, like get carbs, and then like I might end up getting a box of cookies or some shit. And then before I know it, I'm like fucking 90 kgs again. I'm like, oh,
Easy done, easy done. This
yeah.
fight with Nick Bagley, this I've spoken about it loads of times on my podcast, and what I've been saying is it's reminiscent of like Paul Hughes and Jordan Vucenic, where it's a title fight in Cage Warriors, and sometimes the Cage Warriors title fights these days there's an A side and there's very much a B side. This here's one where there's two A sides. You both have similar records. The only difference is you're undefeated. Nick Bagley 7-1. You have a 100% finish record. Nick's finished 6 out of his 7 fights. So the magnitude of this is much bigger. Does it feel any bigger to you? Does it feel like a step up in level?
Level for sure. In the sense of I rate him a lot. Like in the sense of like I do think it's like it would. I'll be silly to think it wouldn't be probably the toughest opponent for sure. Like as in like I've been eyeing him for a good while. Like so like no, yeah, for sure in that sense. Like well that's it's sort of what's needed in at this level. Like that's what you need. Like I in my view, I think everybody's good. Like you know what I mean. But I do think he's like he's I like his I rate his skill set a lot more than the previous one would be
Hmm.
put it. But like everyone else add a few things that they're very good at or like whatever it is, but he seemed very well rounded. So like it's therefore a good opponent. And all that's gonna do again, like I said, level on this part, like it's gonna be the same for me to him. Like I think I will by far be the most challenging opponent is that. And like that's coming in from Ami all the way to pro as well. And like going with that all that's gonna do for me, I find every time I face a bigger challenge, like more of myself comes out. So like that's what I'm looking forward to the most, to be honest. I'm just excited to be like I'm prepared mentally for a war for 5 rounds, but like I feel like that is what's gonna end up bringing out the best of myself.
Yeah, I seen the video that the great Amy from Fight Pals put out. It was today or yesterday, and something surprised me. You actually said that you want to get the work in this fight, and you don't actually want to finish him early. Was that satire? Is your dream scenario here actually for the fight to go into the championship rounds as opposed to going in and getting a quick finish?
Yeah, for sure. Like I genuinely think like I'm looking like I'm not just doing this purely for like the sake of fighting or whatever. Obviously, there's benefits like long term as you get the success and all that kind of thing. But like my big goal with this, what I try to achieve with this is like I say freedom. In my case right now, if I look at it on the fight side of things, like mental freedom, I want to push myself to a stage where I want to see how far I could go in my own head, like mentally, like because the fight game is tough. Like and like when you're in challenging positions, when you're struggling, like when you're like trying to get out of positions, when you're doing stuff, like your mind starts to play tricks on you and stuff. Like those are like I want to go in there and like I want to fight those demons, and I feel like it would be someone that could push me there, like which is where I would like to. Like I'm expecting it, like based on the level I put in my head. I could end up coming out there and just touching him once and it falls down. But like again, I expect more from him. So, but yeah, no, I do want to get challenged, but that doesn't mean like I'm gonna be there like freaking swinging around trying to like be reckless and like force myself in bad positions. Like that's not what it is. I'm being smart with this. I'm being strategic with this. I'm like we're gonna play this game, but it's gonna be a fight at the end of the day. And like if we get to that fourth, fifth round, I haven't been there. Like, you know, I haven't. I want to see what happens when I go to that stage. Like, and that will be the same for him as well. I want to see what happens when we're out there, when our soul is on the line. Like, who's gonna give up? Who's gonna start to break slowly? Like, all of that kind of things. Like, that's the real challenge. That's the real thing. That's where I want my growth from. Because if I could grow from that side of things, like fighting is not forever. I'm gonna be gone from this good few years from now. Like, I'll be done. I still have a life to live, and all those lessons, all those fortitude that I built in here, it's gonna carry me over to my life as I move on to the next chapter of it. So yeah, now this is just it's a training ground for me mentally, physically, and we'll keep going.
That's an incredible mindset to have. I say it to you and your brother Sam all the time. Anytime I hear the Simon brothers speak, it makes the hair stand up on the back of my chest. It makes me want to go out and bash out a 5K run. I was listening to you on the Oil Triangle with Andy Stevenson and the boys, and you mentioned the stoicism that you've sort of brought into your game and into your life. And I find it quite interesting because you said that the only thing you can control is your mind. And it got me thinking, how do you control your mind? Do you, there's lots of people that struggle with that. You make it seem easy. Is there certain techniques that you do? Do you read any books or anything like that helps you stay so stoic in these crazy environments and fast moving situations?
Easy is by far not what it is. Like as in it's extremely difficult. They again sound like this weird kind of thing, like you say, like oh, meditating this and whatever it is. But how I look at like how I've like there's this book, oh shit, The Power of Now, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Like that
Hmm.
was the first sort of like opening for me in that world. It's just about being present and like the now being the only thing that matters and all that kind of stuff. And like that you could people could look into stuff like that if they want, and that's general stoicism. But like the main thing I am trying to do myself is like just be aware of things rather than like I'm not trying to fix it. I'm not trying to what's I just want to pay attention to what it is. And then after time that fixes the problem itself, once I like could point out this is why I'm having this thought or this is why I'm like this and whatever. Like and that took time of like being present because like breathing exercise or like meditation and meditation, all meditation is being present and like being aware of what's going on in your head or what's going on around you rather than a lot of times we're stuck in our head of like we're thinking about the future all the time or we're like contemplating about the past, like anxiety in the future or depression in the past, like, oh, why did I do that, whatever, or I want to do this and whatever. Like, and like none of that really matters, but like, because the now again is the only thing that you can focus on, whatever. But if I just stay in that moment and I see that okay, I'm thinking about the future now and I'm stressed about this fight. I'm stressed, oh, this is gonna happen. Oh, freaking oh, it's a main event. My family are gonna be there, this is gonna be their hometown big show. If I'm thinking about all of that, all that does is just starts to stress me out. But like none of that has happened yet. Like any and a lot of times it will be like fear because I don't know what's gonna happen. So it's gonna be fear of like negative things a lot of times. I could obviously switch that and be positive about it, be like, yeah, something could go wrong, but something could go right. But either way, no matter what way I want to do it, and like I could say I want to focus, I want to be positive on it, or I want to do whatever. But take everything out, it still hasn't happened yet. Like it's all there. Like all that matters is now. And like I don't know if it was Seneca or like one of them that said something about we suffer more in our minds than we do in reality. Like you go through so much pain and you give yourself so much anxiety about things that has never happened yet, and then like it actually physically affects you, affects your performance, affects how you walk through life and things like that. Again, all of this is easy. Like it's easy to say like, oh, focus on the present moment. But when like you're freaking anxious and all of that is going in, like pulling yourself back to that moment is very tough. Or sitting in that anxiety or sitting in that pain or whatever it may be is very difficult to do. But it's just that's life, man. That's the game we're playing, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to sit in there. I'm trying to notice my mind go through there, see what I'm thinking about, like be the watcher, as they'll say. My thoughts come and I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh, I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about this. And like it's surreal sometimes, but again, all of that is there. Like, but either way, me saying I'm being present and being all of this doesn't mean I cannot like it's not based, oh, I'm a nice guy, I'm this and whatever. When I walk in there, I know I'm going in there to hurt you and I'm trying to hurt you as well. So there's a bit of a dichotomy or whatever way you want to put it with that, because a lot of stoicism could be all peaceful and this and whatever, but I am trying to hurt you. Like so like it's sort of like a bit of a it's just you I use it as a tool to stay there, but I'm also aware like in this very moment we could nearly say we're trying to take each other's lives if we're going to be realistic about it, even though that might sometimes not be the intention. But if we go to all that punch us to land in some way, and that could change things. So like it is a very violent game I'm playing, and again, that is why the whole mind side of things, like I'm trying to put myself in the worst situation and see how my brain reacts to that, how my body reacts to that, how this thing reacts to that. And then we keep doing that forever and forever and see what's going. Like, unfortunately, I can't go to war. I don't want to go to war as that should be, because that would be the extreme version of that. Because like that's a whole interesting thing. Again, like how soldiers and things do things, like because that's a different game on its own. But look, this is the closest I could get to that, and I feel like I'm just gonna keep working on it, see where it goes.
That sounds like a championship mindset to me. And just on the power of now as well, I have actually read that before, and it's very interesting how you're relating it to the fight game. You know, and it's true what you said. If you're thinking about the future, all the future is it's a future now. You can only experience that in the now as well. So I think that's the great thing about that book. Very strong words, very strong words. Something that always intrigued me about your sort of career is that you were actually working full time right up until are you still working? You're still working full time,
Yeah.
mate.
Yep.
How do you get
I'm on
the
my lunch break now.
how do you get the time to do that?
Bro, like there is no freaking time. I don't even I don't know. I genuinely don't. This like because I took 3 days off and like when I was in Liverpool and stuff like that, and I was just like, look at this amount of time. I was like, I went training, came back, took a nap, got up, went training again, came back, and I was still able to sleep and like get a decent. I was like, this is a life, but look, it will happen. sooner or later, look, it's the game. But it's not easy. I can't be like, oh, it's this, it's that, or whatever. But it's what needs to be done is what needs to be done. Like, and I'm just making the most as I can or whatever. I've said like right now, I'm doing this part time. Like, give me a bit more time. Can you still hear me? Yeah?
Yeah, yeah, I can still hear you.
But it's just like a call was coming. Like I feel like I'm doing this part time now, but like give me hopefully like soon enough, like we could like get a bit more freedom with that, and then like we could like level up again. But time wise, it's just trying to manage that as best as I can. Out there at work, so it's like in the morning I do a little bit that I can myself. A lot of time right now it's just been trying to stretch and shit because I've been saying it for years and I keep not doing much. But most of the sessions in the evening, commute about 2 hours a day most days to get to Waterford and back, get training in, whatever. And then when I'm in Dublin, like that's about an hour and a half, so like 3 hours kind of thing. It's like it's just I have a schedule now, and whatever it is. But the main thing I feel like is I am losing a lot of time with family and stuff. So weekends I try to squeeze in as much as I can there with the family, like my little boy and my fiance as well. So like that's probably the one that he eats at me the most is like the time away from them. But overall, like the game, like it's this is what I chose. I made this decision and like I've done it now for so long. So we just keep going on like on a realistic fighter thing on a realistic note, like it's this shit don't pay that well, like for a good while. Like so, like I have a family, I have like freaking bills to pay, everything has to be done. So like we just have to like make it work the best we can, and we'll see where we go with it.
When you've got your hands on a UFC title, so you'll look back at these days and think that the sacrifice was worth it, and the sort of life that you'll have built for your family then will definitely be worth it. One more question. I need to let you get back to your emails and your phone calls. What was I going to say? Yes, you're the main event on Saturday. What other fights on the card are you looking forward to?
I'm gonna be obviously straight up biased with our boys. Like we got Louis fighting, Jer fighting. Jer, like I'm very interested in Jer. Like I see how because he's just been leveling up mentally, physically, like skill wise, he's skills in abundance. But like there's just more and more growth I can see in him, and like I'm very very curious to see how his fight goes. Louis as well making his Cage Warriors debut. That would be like a madness as well. So like that's like the Rhino boys doing work, and then like I know, what's it called? Damien's also fighting. I know he's like extended right now, but he's still part of the crew. So like, well, got in with him a few times here as well. But I'll say, to be honest, the fight I'm really looking forward to is like the Alex and Scott Harvey. Like I feel like that's a mad
Great
fight.
fight.
Like that's a really, 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 really good fight. I'm excited to watch that in my division as well. But like, look, all going well. I'll be getting the fuck out of there before they start coming through as well. So like, and but yeah, no, that's a really good fight. The card itself, in general, is packed to the max. Like so, like obviously the co-main event we have Paddy fighting for title, and Paddy is like an animal himself. Like so, like that's also gonna be a pan burner from start to finish. All the fights are good. Like I am not even pick because it's just randomly. I just start seeing random fight come up. I'm like, whoa, Darby obviously as well. Actually, like he's also coming through on our end, and like every time Darby fights, he just leaves a man in a pulp of blood. Like he's just like slicing them open left, right, and center. And I'm aware of it when I'm freaking trying to spar him as well. It's like you stay away. He's kicking the shit out of you. You come in close. He's elbowing you. He's nailing you. Like
He's so
he's
long
like
as well, isn't he?
he's a demon to deal with, man. So yeah, Darby, Louis, Jared, like that's gonna be a mad one there. And then Andreas as well, actually, like 'cause I remember training with him back in the day, but like he's a
Cage Warriors
good
debut.
like yeah, so that'll be another good fight as well. Um yeah, and like there's a lot of good ones there. Like so, like look, I think the tickets are practically sold out. So if you haven't got yours, probably
Mm-hmm.
get yours very 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 soon. Like because they will be gone for sure. And if not, tune in on freaking Fight Pass and like get in on that because like there's a lot of good fights coming through, and I'll just come through and just smack a boy around a bit. Like it'll be a tough fight, very very tough fight, very tough. But yeah, nah, get that done, and then look, it'll be good. It'll be a good night.
I'm looking forward to it. Saul, the best of luck as always. It's been a pleasure watching your journey so far and covering it. And this is definitely a big, big moment for you, and I'm sure you'll thrive. Thank you very much for your time.
Yes, thanks so much, man.